Hello, welcome to Studio Pixel. This is the third chapter of Adobe Photoshop. Now, in the last chapter we have already discussed about the lasso tools, and now we'll move on to the next tool sets. That is quick selection tools and magic wand tool. Now, first we'll go for the quick selection tool. Now, quick selection tool is kind of special, and it will actually let you to paint across the surface or the area to select on. But there are some limitations and options are out there, which is very important to know before you start using it. Now, first of all, as a regular selection tool, it has also the same features that is I've already discussed in the previous chapters. That is add to selection and subtract from selection. Now there is no intersection, so this will be something you're gonna miss. So first of all, I'll just hide few layers. Okay, now just hide those layers and select the layers that I'm working on, and because the selection of the layers is very important, so select the layers and you just start painting, and you can see immediately it will start tracking your pixels. Now there is some options over there which is also actually help you to selecting the exact layers or exact portion you wanted. Now if I have one single layer which the background is white, and I have put a circle over there. So now if I start selecting, you can see immediately it select the entire area which has been actually occupied by the pixels. That is it's a kind of a natural phenomena. Now if you go to these options like sample all layers, while using sample all layers, which will actually help you to merge these colors into one single layer. Sometimes it happens that if your entire paintings or entire images are not in single layer, then this selection tool is not gonna useful for you, because it will not calculate each and every layer, all the layers into a one bunch. Now it can also calculate the each and every layers in individual. Right here, if I select layer 3, which have the blue circle, you can see it's actually dramatically select the area that has been filled with the colors. Now press Ctrl D to deselect, and if I move on to the layer 2, which is to orange circle, you can see it is initially it actually start to select the area that has been filled up with colors, and later on I can select those areas which is actually not similar to them, and eventually I ended up with the entire layer, and by selecting this I can fill up these colors. So by using this quick selection tools, this is actually handy where a lot of differences in colors are out there. I can show you something. Okay, let's see in this image, as all the color information is in merged in one single layer, you can select and click, and eventually you can see the color distinguish has been calculated by this particular tool, and you can easily select the area you wanted to select. Now this is one thing that you every time that you don't need to be your colors or your picture is within a merge into a one single layer, but this tool is really helpful for those kind of pictures, trust me. Now what if all the layers are separated like here? Now in that case, sample all layers option is going to work for you. Now whenever you are using sample all layers, you can see, just reduce the size by using third bracket, start and end, for end for increasing and start for the decreasing. So now you can see immediately it only select the color filled area of that particular image or that particular layer which is not been selected. But as my sample all layers are still on, here you can understand that as after merging these all the layers, only the brown color has been visible. If you merge all the layers, this amount of brown color is absolutely visible, because if I switch off this blue color, then you can see this much of portion is actually been hidden by this particular blue layer. That's why it's actually acting like this layers has been merged. That's why it's only going to select the amount of area which has been visible after it's merged. So the visible part only is going to select. But if I switch off this layer and again I select, now you can see it has been calculated as a one single layer by these two, and as the brown color is completely visible, that's where it can actually access the entire selection. Now the auto enhance option is actually that they're not that much very good option to use, because that actually help to see, you can it actually been smoothing out the jaggy outlines that can create by selecting areas. You can see this has been smoothed out. See, after selection it automatically been shrinked out, and to enhance the outlines of this particular selection. So that is not that good, because if you have the right refine edge option that I've already shown you in the last chapters, in previous chapters, for the selection tools, and that will help you much more efficiently rather than these options. So I will personally recommend don't use this option for your selection, but yet the decision is up to you. You can use it. That's the purpose of this thing. So moving on, the second one is the magic wand tool, which is the most important one of this chapter, because that's why the everything actually these tools are been used. This tool actually been used for very frequently in your projects. So first, the selection types that has been already been discussed, that add to selection, which is be add for even on your existing calculations or existing selected areas, and next one is the subtract from selection, and the intersect with the selection, which will select the common areas for between two selections. So that's where these parts. Now next comes the tolerance value, and this is very important one, because if you say my tolerance is 0, that means I'm not gonna tolerate a single amount of color which differs where I'm clicking. Now you can see in this case my sample all layers is off. This is a very interesting one, and I have accidentally clicked on this orange area. Now if you see only this orange layer, you can understand this area is actually the white color, and that's why the entire area has been selected. Now if I switch on the sample all layers, in that case this area is not white, this is actually brown. Now you can see the brown area has been selected, even if my layer 2 is, which is the orange ones, is actually been selected. So that's where the sample all layers comes to play. Even I have show you in the quick selection tool, but though the magic wand tool also stands with the same thing. So now what I'm talking about, the tolerance. Now my tolerance is absolutely 0. That means this selection is not going beyond this particular color. Now in case my tolerance value is 100%, that means I'm really literally tolerate. I mean, I tolerate everything. So in that case, in generally, it should increase. I can show you within this this particular image, because there's a lots of different kind of color values. Now, if I select tolerance value to 0, if I click on that particular pixel, oops, it's not at all. I have to increase a bit at least. Okay, that's why it's very tiny. You can see it's only when selected this much area, because that is the only color value it can tolerate, because its tolerance value is 1. It's literally not going to tolerate any single amount of differences between the color values. You can see that there are lots of, though the sky's color is the same, should be same, and that's a very high resolution camera that's been used for clicking this image, but you can see that has been pixeled out, and the color values are quite different in various parts. But yet, if you increase the value of tolerance like 100%, you can see you can almost select everything. You can see it's always been selected by everything, almost every part of the the sky, even also some part of the monument also. So so that is the tolerance value. If you increase the tolerance value, it will select more areas, and if you decrease the tolerance value, it will select the lesser areas, or lesser area close to that particular color values that you are actually clicking on. That is the most important thing you have to remember. So anti-alias, that's the same that I've discussed in the chapter 2. Please refer to the chapter 2 there, because that's the same thing over here. And the contiguous, that is a very, very important one. What is a contiguous means? Now I have to get back to this one. Now the meaning of the contiguous is whether I'm going to okay, just switch off these layers. Fine. Now in this layer, if I switch on the contiguous on, what will gonna happen if I select this circle? You can see only the selected circles has been selected. That means sorry, what I'm saying, this particular area has been selected. But what if my contiguous is absolutely off? If I select this, you can see this circle is also been selected. Why so? Because contiguous means it only select the area where I've already clicked and its surrounding or its connected area, or the connected pixels of that particular layer. That means if I select over here and I have a pixel just adjacent of that pixels, and also the connection is there between these two pixels through any other pixels or something, the same similar kind of pixels are there, all those images or all those pixels will be selected. Now let's see what you do. What I'm doing, I've take a brush and take the same amount and just make it, oops, flow is, make some, don't bother about this. Okay, now I have a continuity within this pixels. Now you can see it will continually which pixels are connected will also get selected if my contiguous is on. If my contiguous is off, now that case this entire layer will be calculated in one single shot. Now if I'm selecting this or clicking over this, Photoshop will try to recognize the amount or the exactly the color values of that particular pixels and try to find out the similar amount of color values over the entire layer, and it will get selected. Here you can see I have selected a click over there, but this portion also gets selected because that has to also have the same color values which I have already clicked on. So that's where the contiguous is also comes to play. So if you really want that in this case I want to select this particular area, and the same color value I want over here also be selected. So that in that case I have to switch off my contiguous area. So because if I select this, all over the layer similar kind of area has been, similar kind of color pixel values will be selected. Now here you can see, now how can you say this, because you have clicked over this area, this is white, and this portion is absolutely blue. So how can you say that the same color value has been selected? Now the answer is over here, the tolerance. I have set my tolerance to 100. Now that is not gonna work, because if I shrink that tolerance value, now if you select this, you can see the same color value it find out to over here, and over here also a bit, but there is no similar color values over here. That's why that's been selected. But again, if I increase the tolerance value, let's say around more, now it can see it is also gonna tolerate this much of area. And this is a very great amount, the great way to color correct a particular thing. Let's suppose I'm going to change this image into a night scene or something. That's where I want tint over from this area, and I want some kind of blue light coming from this side, and that's affected this particular amount of area. That's where it's absolutely comes to a very handy tool for the Photoshop user. So that's where the tolerance is the most important, because tolerance is always comes to play, whether you are using contiguous, whether you are using sampling all the layers, or they're using anti-alias or subtract, adding anything. It's absolutely is always there for the calculation. So so that is for these two tools, that is quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. Hope you enjoy this. Please don't forget to join our Facebook page and also the Twitter page, and definitely go for the subscribe our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy this, and thank you very much.